What you checking on there, Peyton?
Some people on Twitter want us to cover that Gods of Egypt movie. I just don't know if I want to watch it. It looks like it's going to be terrible.
Not as terrible as Independence Day Resurgence.
I mean, you at least like the original one.
No, I hated it. I hated it. It's a terrible movie, bad special effects, and Will Smith. Anyone who liked that movie is stupid.
Uh-huh.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Christopher Gates alongside Peyton Fretwell.
Yeah, this is much better. Hey guys, welcome to What to Watch on 3. I'm Peyton Fretwell, and with me as always is the voluptuous Christopher Gates.
Thank you
the
so
voluptuous. I just got a thesaurus.
Oh,
so.
thank you. Oh, I can tell. You using big words now. I'm so proud of you. Oh.
And
I'm going to find what that word means later.
what we're talking about today is not a big word at all. Oscar. We are
Yes.
wrapping up our Oscar commentary. This is our third episode we've dedicated to the Oscars. It's kind of our Super Bowl, so we have to talk about it.
It is the Super Bowl, and now we're doing our reaction of what happened. And
Yeah.
for the most part, I think we, you did pretty well in some of the categories.
Yeah.
I don't think I did well in any category. So
we're going to talk about our predictions from the last episode. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch that. See
you
what
can check
we
it out
said.
down below at WRBL.com, or
Yep.
you can check it in previous Facebook videos that we posted, and especially on What to Watch. Make sure you like
Yeah.
us on Facebook as well.
But I did not expect to do as well as, it played out more or less how I imagined it to. A few things I did not expect.
The Best Picture.
Yeah, I did not expect Best Picture. I did not think that it was going to be Spotlight. Spotlight was the safe bet,
Yeah.
but I figured that with all the buzz around The Revenant,
Yep.
that the Revenant kind of had the momentum going into the evening,
Yeah.
that it would probably end up winning. And I was delightfully surprised. It wasn't that Spotlight was a bad movie and that I don't think it should have won.
No.
It just,
I think that was, to me, I think the bigger surprise would have been the Big Short. I think
Yeah.
that actually took in, but I think, like you said, with all the
biggest surprise would have been Mad Max.
Oh,
Had
definitely.
Mad Max won Best
And it
Picture.
cleared up 6 categories, and that itself was just, it was insane.
Yeah, it was
It did. But I think, like you said, Spotlight is not a bad movie. It's just The Revenant had so much attention going into it, and especially since and we'll talk more in depth, but Leonardo winning the Best Actor and
Yeah.
the director winning Best Director again.
Yeah, making history.
You would think that was the movie, but no, Spotlight.
Yeah, and I think it's good on the Academy for doing that, because it shows that they care more about tight storytelling than spectacle.
Yeah.
Revenant had everything going for it. It had the great cinematography. It was hard to make. The actors went through hell to make it. But then Spotlight comes, is telling an important story. Not a scene of it is wasted. Probably not the prettiest movie, but it's well shot. It's by the books, but it tells a very important story. Like I said, not a scene of it is wasted. It is just
There's a large
tight
ensemble
movie.
it's a large ensemble cast of actors and actresses in the movie.
Great.
You had Rachel McAdams, Michael Keaton. You had
Speaking of
Mark
Michael
Ruffalo.
Keaton, this
Yeah.
is second movie that he's been in with a Best Picture nom back to back.
Exactly. He won it for Birdman last year and actually got the Golden Globe for his performance as Best Actor. It was nominated for an Academy Award, but so this is like his resurgence and coming back.
And that GIF he has, we can't say what he said at the Oscars, but he has a GIF that's making the rounds virally. It's awesome. Go
I don't
check
think
that
I'm
out.
going to put that up, but
Yeah,
just search for it and you'll see. You'll see what we're talking about.
We can't use that on a
No, we can't.
our show.
No, not on this show. But another show we could.
We're class acts
If
here.
we were on YouTube bad, we would do it. But,
Exactly.
but Best Actor. So your boy got it.
Yeah,
Your boy,
Leo
he
finally got it. Yeah, definitely don't think this was his best role, but he definitely did a great job in this film.
He's been committed to so many roles before. It's not the best, but it's due time.
It's like, am I mad that he won it for this? No, because he was great in this movie.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
was
we're
Tom
not taking
Hardy.
away from his performance. We're just saying that other performances that he should have won for, this should have been like his maybe third or fourth at this point in time.
It's just like at this point, yeah, go ahead, give it a
Yeah.
Just
It's kind of
why
like when they
not?
gave it to Martin Scorsese for The Departed.
Yeah.
Was this his best movie? No. But at that point in time, yeah.
It's
So,
like it's the guy who made Taxi Driver and Raging Bull. Just give it to him.
Casino and Goodfellas and all the
Goodfellas,
great
yeah.
stuff. But I'm definitely glad for him. Actor in supportive role. this is another one that you
Yeah.
originally had. You originally,
I was
this
so
should let you
mad.
know you should always go with your first pick. You picked him, but you went with me.
I picked Mark Rylance
Sylvester
to
Stallone, so
win.
I brought you to wrongness. And
Yeah.
I'm not happy
Brought me
about
to
that.
the dark side. I originally, after seeing Bridge of Spies, I was like, Mark Rylance has this best supporting role. He didn't have a lot of lines, and he wasn't maybe the most Oscar baity performance. He didn't have a lot of crazy crying scenes or yelling or anything.
Yeah.
It was very subtle
Very
performance.
stoic.
Yeah, very stoic. And I thought Sylvester Stallone's performance in Creed, even though I didn't see it, he definitely had the most momentum going into it. Having
There was a
won.
lot of emotion in that role.
Yeah.
And I thought he personally he probably should have won it. But I haven't seen Bridge of Spies, but clips I've seen of it. Mark Rylance to play the character he plays in a movie like that, I think I'm glad to see him win that. And he looks like a really great character actor, so I'm looking forward to see other films that he'll do.
Yeah, he's definitely got a bright future. He's an older gentleman, but this is relatively new territory. He hasn't been in many American films, so with this Oscar win, we'll probably see a lot more of him.
And
Just like Christoph Waltz when he won for
Christoph Waltz is
Inglourious
amazing.
Basterds.
So yeah, please bring them all on over.
Yeah.
We don't mind it.
We love foreign.
actress in supporting role.
Alicia Vikander won it for Danish Girl. I was wrong on this one, but I wasn't surprised. It was kind of a weak category this year for Best Supporting Role. Not weak in the sense of they weren't good. It was just weak in that there was no real standouts. They were kind of all
I
even.
saw Kate Winslet and Steve Jobs. It was great, but
Yeah.
in other movies that she's played, especially like Revolutionary Road, I think it's just
Exactly.
it's kind of.
And then Jennifer Jason Leigh in our last episode, I think, is the one
That
we
was what we were
picked.
picking because we really both liked how her performance in
Yeah,
Hateful Eight.
she made that movie.
She did make that movie.
You
But
really felt for it. And that,
I'm gonna admit something right here. I was telling Peyton this. I was looking at the clips for Danish Girl. I was putting the stuff together, and I looked at it, and I thought Eddie Redmayne's character. I thought that was her. I thought that was Alicia Vikander, and I was sitting there putting it together. And I went back and looked. I said, "Wait, let me just look at this." And I saw what Eddie Redmayne looked in the movie. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "I need to change this."
now that is acting.
That is acting. And let me tell you something. After seeing that, Eddie Redmayne, you sir, you deserved it. You already deserved it before when you won it for Stephen Hawking. But my goodness.
Yeah, Eddie Redmayne doesn't watch the show.
I know,
talking to
but
no one.
anyone who's
He
an
doesn't
Eddie
watch.
Redmayne fan and you're looking to Fantastic Beasts,
But
yeah.
if you're out there, Eddie Redmayne, return my calls.
Best director.
Best director.
He's not gonna return.
He's not going to. Alejandro Iñárritu. Sorry, I have to pronounce it correctly.
Naruto.
Alejandro Naruto won his second straight Best Director
Yeah, you were
Oscar.
telling me that. I mentioned that last Sunday while I was doing a preview on air. That would be a big thing for him.
Yeah.
And and that's making history for it.
Yeah, he's the first director in over 60 years to do it.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
The last person to do it was, the name is escaping me, but he won in 1949 and 1950 for All About Eve and another movie that is escaping me.
That's
I'm being
okay.
terrible.
That's really still good.
When-
That's a Jeopardy question. You've already got half of it. So.
Alex Trebek would give it to. Well, he wouldn't give it to me because I didn't give it in a form of a question.
That's right. What is I Have No Life?
What is All About Eve?
Yeah, All About Eve.
And Best Cinematographer, this was one that you and I both got right.
Yeah.
For Emmanuel Lubezki, he won his third straight Oscar in a row. Talk about consistency. This man.
And look at the stuff he's doing.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the scenes I'm seeing in The Revenant. It's breathtaking.
He knows how to pick his projects, and he's an incredible talent as well. Shooting in all natural light. I mean, who does that?
There's the scene that I've seen where Leo is sleeping in the snow, and the Native Americans are attacking him. One of the tribes is. Just to see the snow and him running toward his horse and trying to get on the boat. That's amazing. And in the world that we live in today, to see scenery like that and to see it shot like that,
it's almost non-existent.
It is. You think it's at another period piece. So props to him.
He made the nature in that movie, which was what the movie needed. He made the nature in that movie its own character.
Yeah.
And you definitely felt it.
I almost thought Mad Max might pull that one out because Mad Max was getting everything.
Mad Max
everything that was technical, it was getting it.
It was Mad Max.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring up talking about correct predictions, I want to bring up something that we didn't do in our last episode, but it was from our first episode. You might see a pilot down there where we actually predicted some odd weeks out what was going to happen, what our craziest predictions were going to be. And I sat right here in this chair and predicted that Mad Max was going to win at least 4 Mad Max.
You did. You actually
Oscars,
did.
Yeah.
And ended up winning 6, or more, was it 6? Was the total that he won?
Yeah, it ended up winning 6 Oscars and was up for many more.
You were right on it.
Yep.
To think that was a summer movie. That was like almost consistent as a summer blockbuster movie. It came out, and for the Academy to remember that,
Yeah.
that's how good it was.
Came out in the summer, not even in Oscar season.
Have you ever seen the movie in the home theater system? Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've watched that movie several times.
7.1 surround sound or anything more. It's a beauty.
It's insane. You feel like you can reach out and touch the sand, just like in The Revenant with the snow.
Yeah.
The nature is just its own character, its own obstacle.
And another thing I want to point out, a lot of these movies, if you have not seen them, a lot of them are not only available right now, they will be available in a few weeks. The Revenant thing, Fox already come out. It will be available in March, at least on, you'll probably do a rental review, because it'll be on digital pretty soon next month, or when this comes out, it will be March. So in a few weeks, so definitely look out for that. And, you know, Spotlight and a number of other movies that you were interested in that you didn't see in theaters.
Room just became available to rent.
That's one,
Might do a rental review on that one.
Big fan of that.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of that. And Brie Larson definitely deserved to win the Best Actress award for that.
Congrats to her.
Yeah, Jacob Tremblay, who was the kid in that movie, was actually in that movie more than Brie Larson was, and I was kind of bummed that he didn't get a Best Actor nom for that. Or for a movie that I've talked to you about, Beasts of No Nation, that's on Netflix right now.
You told me that, yeah. That's the one, Idris Elba?
Yeah, Idris Elba, he was the supporting actor in that film, and the younger kid, Abraham Atta, I think is his name. I'm probably butchering that.
We'll have video covering it.
Yeah, and but no, they had him at the Oscars, but I'm sitting there going, he shouldn't be a presenter. He should be a nominee.
Yeah.
He was incredible in that film.
He has a bright future to him, so this is not going to be the first time that he may have got snubbed now. There's a lot of people who got snubbed, so don't worry about it.
A lot of people got snubbed. That's a great segue. One of the people I want to talk about who got snubbed, in my opinion, it was Lady Gaga for Best Song. Sam Smith ended up winning for his song Writings on the Wall.
I wasn't crazy about the song. I'll go ahead and say it. Nothing against Sam Smith. I think he's a talented musician, and he's a great vocalist. But that song, I just wasn't crazy about it. I wasn't crazy when... not the same as Skyfall.
Yeah, Skyfall with Adele was a great song. If it wasn't attached to a James Bond movie at all, it still would be a great song.
Yeah, it would have been a great song.
Writings on the Wall, I feel like the only reason people enjoyed it was because it was preceding a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
And even then, when I sat down to watch that in the theaters, it kind of gave me this weird vibe. I don't really like it. It didn't do anything for me. It made me want to go to sleep, honestly, because it didn't have that punch.
It didn't have it. Like I said, this is not to Sam Smith. It's just a song. Yeah. It just didn't do it for us.
It just wasn't James Bondy.
Yeah, but I think but he's a very popular. He's gone up there, so I think that's one of the reasons. Best score.
Yeah, best score. I'm going to try this. Ennio Morricone?
I think it's Morricone or Morrison.
Morrison?
Yeah.
One of those. Pick a pronunciation.
Yeah. Most of you who like spaghetti westerns, especially the Clint Eastwood ones and the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly trilogy, you will know his name for the Encanto. I was gonna try to whistle it, but I'm not. But the do 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 wow wow wow. Yeah. So
everybody knows that.
Yeah. Right? So he is done. I'm glad to see him. You were what was it, over 500 films?
He has 500 credits on IMDb, and this is his first Oscar win. So that's insane that he just now won for that. You want to talk about getting snubbed for Oscars? Leo has nothing on Ennio Macaroni, and. That's how I'm going to choose to say his name.
No, Macaroni. That's fine. That's one for dinner.
Visual effects, Ex Machina one for visual effects. Very small type movie. I was very happy about that because this was a movie that I saw that nobody I knew had heard of except present company excluded.
I saw commercials for it, and it is a That's a very visual effect movie. You guys should really check it out, especially for anyone who's seen The Force Awakens, because Oscar Isaac's in the movie, and he has a great performance in it as well.
It was good for a movie that size to win an Oscar, because that's going to show studios that even small sci-fi projects can do very well in the industry and make
Alicia Vikander, she played
Alicia Vikander, our best supporting actress, was starring in that movie.
So she did
great year for her. She was in The Danish Girl, Ex Machina, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I think is a very underrated movie.
I kind of want to see that, especially since it's out right now.
Yeah,
so I have to check that out.
It's what I wish James Bond would go back to. It's kind of a callback to the old spies.
Well, the way how Spectre is doing it, it's probably best to just go ahead and reboot back to it. I'd say the same thing with Batman. Just do another 60s Batman movie. Might as well with a Biff Bam.
Bring back Adam West. Bring back Adam West.
Bring back Adam West.
Yeah. So not talking about any. That's all the awards that we really wanted to talk about. But Chris Rock and Louis C.K. What a great pair of funny guys.
I give Chris Rock a lot of credit because there was a lot of different directions that he could have gone with the monologue, and then it wasn't overly preachy. It was just he did it in his own style, and it was actually pretty funny, and it hit on a lot of things.
That's what I love about Chris Rock is he's honest.
Yeah.
You can't really get mad at the things he says because he just tells it like it is, and if you don't, I
love the Will Smith getting paid $20 million to do Wild Wild West because that's very true. It was very, very true.
I cackled. I not laughed. I cackled.
You really have been looking at the source. I am impressed with you very much. He stepped up his game.
I went to college.
I like college. I like CSU. But yeah, Louis C.K. and Chris Rock, they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and the Oscar So White controversy that was going around. The Oscars, I think, handled it really well. Chris Rock having him host was definitely a good move, even though they hired him beforehand. But that worked out for them. With their jokes and all of the allusions they made to that, I felt was a little heavy-handed. That was my only issue with the humor.
The Oscars tries to be topical.
Right.
It's not. Yesterday when we were in the newsroom, and I was working here, and my coworkers, they were watching. One of the things that a lot of them they kept saying was they thought that it was just too heavy, and they thought it was a little boring to get into the aspect. Like after Chris Rock did his monologue and they did some of the things, it kind of just a little took too long.
You're like, we get it.
Yeah, we get it. Like it's understandable. We get it. We don't have to kind of beat on the dead horse.
It's like this. And there's a quick story I wanted to say. One time I was spending the night over at my aunt and uncle's, and I ended up walking in on my aunt changing, and it was not a big deal. I was an adult then. And but now, since then, I was an adult then.
That story. I know you just like the way you said, "I'm an adult now." It's like,
an adult
it would have been better if you were a kid. But go ahead, go ahead.
But since then, this was a few years back. But since then, every time we hang out, that story is brought up, and it wasn't weird then, but it gets weirder the more the story's told.
Gotcha.
And it's grating after a while. It's only as weird as you make it.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt with the Oscars was, okay, we get it. There was some controversy around this Oscars, but the more you bring it up, the worse I think it got.
It does.
And then that Stacey Dash thing.
Yeah.
God bless her. She came out.
She did.
And just that joke did not work.
They tried. Even when Jared Leto was up there and he was saying like a joke, he was just like, for you guys who doesn't get it, ask the person next to you. If you don't, just look it up. I mean, it's deadpan, it's awkward. That's probably the one thing I would say about the Oscars. It's just sometimes I get to the point. It's like, all right, let's just get to the point. Like let's do this, okay?
It's already a 3.5 hour
yeah,
long
it's
show.
already a 3.5 hour show. Let's speed this up, along the way.
That being said, those parodies, like the one with Tracy Morgan and the Danish Girl, and stuff, that was great.
Yeah, that stuff is always funny
awesome.
when they perform it off and pull it off that way. But just
it's good to see Tracy Morgan doing that kind of stuff.
I'm so glad to see him. I'm glad to see him come back. But definitely, it was a good Oscar.
Yes.
It was a good Oscar year. I mean, not enough black people probably did not get it through it is, but it's one of those things, if you love what you do, like we're doing right now, sometimes the awards doesn't really mean that much to you. So
Yeah.
you know, and not just it's not just an African American thing, but you know, it's a Hispanic thing, it's an Asian American thing, Native American. You can go all transgender, ethnicities, everything. So
we just got to give them an opportunity, guys. Come on, Academy, what are you doing?
So why are you so out there?
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this episode up. Like we said earlier, if you like this video and want to check out more, you can go down below and check out the rest of our videos at WRBL.com or on Facebook, Twitter,
everything else. We'll definitely have this video and other videos coming up. We got some rental reviews coming up. We definitely have another movie review. I know personally I'm going to see Zootopia.
Yeah,
I don't know
we're
if you
gonna
want to see
Zootopia.
I've read some reviews and they've been good, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
And then we're gonna have a movie trivia game coming up.
A movie trivia is always going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. So we're going to have some good stuff coming up, and don't forget Batman Superman. It's a countdown. Got the countdown to that. So it's going to be great. So I'm Christopher Gates. This is Peyton Fretwell. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for future episodes. And if you have anything that you want us to suggest to talk about, or even tweet at us, you can tweet at us right here. You can like us on Facebook, and just whatever. You can email us. You can find out where we are.